Good evening. Today, General Motors linked 7 more deaths to a faulty ignition switch, and it nearly doubled the number of cars it's recalling, from the 780,000 announced earlier this month to nearly 1.4 million. GM also said today the ignition switch is now tied to 31 crashes in which 13 people were killed. Right after the initial recall, CBS News tracked down a GM service bulletin that showed the car maker had known about problems with the switch for nearly a decade. Jeff Glor has the new developments tonight.
This crash of a Chevy Cobalt in Wisconsin in 2006, which killed 2 teenage girls, is part of the growing list of recalled vehicles. Margie Besko lost her 15-year-old daughter, Amy.
They knew something was wrong with the car before the accident. I just don't understand how they can knowingly put these cars out and still let people drive them. This is my child. This is my baby girl.
Earlier this month, General Motors recalled the 2005 to 2007 Chevy Cobalts and the 2007 Pontiac G5s. Today, they added 5 new models: 2003 to 2007 Saturn Ions, the 2006 to 2007 Chevrolet HHR, Pontiac Solstice and Saturn Sky, and 2005 to 2007 Pontiac Pursuits, sold in Canada.
GM did it because they had no other choice.
Clarence Ditlow runs the Center for Auto Safety.
GM is just cutting its losses. It's doing absolutely the right thing. It'll save lives. But the issue is, why were 13 lives lost?
GM says that a heavy key ring or sudden jarring can switch the car off. That means no engine power, no power steering, no power brakes, and the airbags don't work. GM filed this updated timeline with federal investigators. 2004, GM became aware of at least one incident involving a Chevy Cobalt. An inquiry was opened, but after consideration of the lead time required, cost and effectiveness of the solutions, it is closed with no action. 2005, new field reports of engines losing power. A service bulletin was issued to dealers in case customers complained, saying there's the potential for the driver to inadvertently turn off the ignition. The concern is more likely to occur if the driver is short and has a large and/or heavy keychain. But no recall was issued. 2007, a GM engineer began an investigation. New incidents of airbags not deploying are discovered. 2010, GM discontinued production of the Cobalt.
This is going to go down as one of the top 10 worst defects recalls ever because it was covered up.
Last week, when we asked GM why the recall did not include additional models announced today, we were told we have no confirmed reports of incidents involving non-deployment of frontal airbags occurring on these other vehicles under the conditions of the Cobalt G5 recall. Today, GM told us the process employed to examine this phenomenon was not as robust as it should have been. We are deeply sorry, and we are working to address this issue as quickly as we can.
GM, which says it will fix the ignition issue at dealerships, is facing a maximum $35 million fine from the government. But now, Scott, because people die, they're also potentially looking at a criminal penalty.
Jeff, thanks very much.